funny. The female point of view on love and relationships without the roses and romance. So get ready for this ride because it's three of us and a wonderful audience member, Mike. We love you. Thank you for being here, Mike.
I
And
love all of you.
oh, I love you. And we
Oh,
have amazing comics. And we're going to do a little bit more time. We had one cancellation, so stay tuned, you guys. Um, I have a question for you guys. Do you like getting older or do you hate it? Hate it? Yes. You can speak. You can talk. This is like a little party. I hate getting older. It's driving me nuts because there's so many things that happen that you don't know will happen. Like, for example, the other day I went to buy a T-shirt, and the girl behind the counter was, I swear to God, 12 years old, and she looks at me and she goes, "Oh my God, I just love your alligator scarf." It's my neck. So I've been thinking about getting Botox. What do you think, guys? Should I get Botox?
No.
No, right? I
no.
know. I feel the same way. Thank you for saying that because I feel like if I get Botox every time I'm going to get a treatment, I'm going to lose another expression, right? And then all I'm going to be able to do is play poker. That's definitely not going to be cute. And so another thing that's happening, by me getting older, we're all getting older anyway, right? But my personal experience is I'm an actress, right? And the roles keep changing for me as I get older. Like I used to get cast as like talkative nail lady or like psychopath head nurse a lot. Um, the other day, I can't even say it with a straight. It's insane. Okay, he sent me for the role of drunk homeless Uncle Joe.
Oh, Joe.
Yes. You know what the worst thing about it was? Is I got the part. What is happening? This is insane. And then you start dating older people, right? And I used to like older men, but now I guess for my age bracket, they're dead. They're all, I should go to the cemetery. That should be my dating app. But I dated a guy in his 70s, right? And we broke up, unfortunately. And I was heartbroken because we were engaged to be married.
Hmm.
And yeah, I know. I really thought we were going to be together for the rest of his life. And, there's, again, dating an older person, there's a lot of things that you don't know are going to happen, right? Like, for example, everything in his house was old, right? The furniture was old, the bed was old. You have no idea how frustrating it is to be making love, and all you can hear is squeaky creak, squeaky creak, squeaky creak, squeaky creak. Yeah. Oh, and the bed made noises too. And then, right? And then, yeah, that too. And then, like we were very affectionate with each other. And one time, I remember this one time we were out in public and I spanked him in public. Yeah. I got arrested for elder abuse. What's this crazy? And then that was not the worst thing, you guys. Let me tell you, like my friends were the worst. You know what they called me?
Mm-mm.
They called me a gold digger. My friends, I was like, listen, I am not with him for the money, okay? I'm with him for the free prescription drugs
Yes.
and the handicap parking. Don't forget that. Um, so this is gonna be a deal breaker for you guys. You're like, crazy guy, he cheated on me.
No.
Yes, with an older woman. I know, you got all of this. What's happening? And, you know, I was like, oh my God, if I wanted him back, how can I compete with someone who can take her teeth out? Whew, crazy. My life is crazy, you guys. So I am full of emotions, as you can tell. Are you guys emotional?
Yes.
You're right. I feel the vibe that we're all emotional in this room. I think I'm gonna get an emotionectomy.
Oh.
Yes, because I want to get rid of feelings. Because I am sick and tired of having feelings. I have more shitty feelings than good feelings. I really want to be emotion free. Like if I litter, I don't want to worry about it. If I say something wrong to somebody, I don't want to feel bad about it, right? And I just want to be able to say to a guy, your dick isn't big enough and not feel bad about it. You know, I want to be able to say to my boss, you're ugly and you stink, get fired and not give a shit. So do you guys think an emotionectomy might be available in the future?
Probably.
Wouldn't that
Probably.
be amazing, right? Wouldn't that be great? It would save us so much time and mistakes. Um,
Mhm.
and also, another feeling that I have is, when you feel down. Have you ever felt down and like really insecure?
Yes.
Your self-esteem is really down. You guys have felt that?
Yes.
This is what I do, okay? If you find yourself in that situation, find a moron or a 5-year-old. It will make you feel better. It's like taking vitamins. It's amazing. So as I get older, because this is all about getting older, I'm really mad about getting older and I'm not hiding it. Um, so it seems like as I get older, I develop superpowers, though. This is the good part about it. Apparently, now I have the power to be rejected by men I'm not even attracted to. Yeah. I also developed the power to not get a follow up phone call from guys I've never been out with.
Mm.
Yes. And the best of all is I developed the ability to time travel and get rejected by men who haven't even been born yet. Yes, but I have a good superpower. This is a positive one. I can now say every curse word in that was ever invented in under 2 seconds. You want to hear it?
Yes.
Awesome. Did you hear all of them? Good. I'm glad. I have some good news in spite of my life sometimes not being how I want it to be. They picked me to be a server at Hooters.
Mm.
Yeah, medical supply company.
Mm.
Yeah, in Irvine. Yeah. And more good news, I got picked up by 3 hot guys.
Mm.
Yeah, nice, right? Okay, so I slipped and fell at a gay bar,
Right.
but still it counts. I had last night, you're going to be impressed. I had a good threesome last night.
Oh.
I know. Okay, it was just me, but I'm really bad at math. I went to an orthopedic doctor because as you get older you start having knee problems. That's my weak area, it's my knees. um, he suggested that my knees would be better off if I could get rid of 30 pounds,
Mm.
so I cut off his leg.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's how I do it. So as I get older also, do you find out like your choices when you date like getting narrow? Like I feel like at this, right, it is, it's like I feel like at this point, my I have two choices basically: a psychopath with no teeth, no job, who drives a Ford Fiesta, or a psychopath with no teeth, no job, who drives a Ford Focus. Those are my two choices. um, I've been, I'm on Zoom a lot because I'm, what they call it, a digital worker, right? But I also have meetings with people on Zoom, right? And you know how, like, when you share screen, they show ads, like if it's a web page, right? They show ads. Okay, so I'm having a Zoom call with, sharing my screen, trying to hire a gardener, and an ad pops up saying, instead of burying your loved one in your backyard, why not cremate? No. And if that isn't enough, I'm on a Zoom call with my 84-year-old mom and an ad pops up. Are you tired of taking care of an aged one? Have you thought about Johnson Tyler Nursing Home?
Mm.
Yeah, that helped my relationship with my mom really well. And then this is the worst one. I was on a Zoom meeting with a younger guy who wants to take me out, and I was like showing him my website, sharing the screen. And all of a sudden, there's a little ad pop up ad saying, "Aren't you tired of your crepe skin, age spots, and vaginal dryness?" Yeah, not cute, you guys, not cute. But anyway, I am going to bring up the second comedian because when hosts say like the first comedian, it's like I'm a
Yeah,
comedian too, right? That's
right.
I know. So let me okay. So this comedian, I've seen her perform and I loved her. And she produces a comedy show in Gardena called La Muerte Comedy.
Ooh.
Please welcome to the virtual stage, Karina Reyes. Woo!
Oh, thank you for having me. I like how Grace said this was going to be a clean show, but like most of her set wasn't clean.
Well, clean is not saying the F word.
Okay. Because I'm like,
Yeah,
what?
that's because what YouTube flags you with, like the F word and stuff, but you can get away with some stuff. So feel free.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Copy me.
But yeah, you know how you were talking about how your agent sent you for this thing? Like my agent sent me a role for an obese person.
No.
I was like, she follows me on Instagram and TikTok. She sees my content and she submitted me for this role, and people were like, oh, maybe it's for the after, like the after role. No, it was for the current role. We're like, and I'm looking at the sides, and the sides you see an obese person. I'm like, this, I still auditioned for it. I was like, I'm still gonna do it even though I don't fit the criteria. Obviously
Yeah.
I didn't get it, but I did make a TikTok talking about how my agent was trolling me by sending me on that audition, and that video went viral.
That's amazing. Yay.
And then I had a friend who does like beauty treatments. So then I did a video saying that if it weren't for my agent sending me in for this audition, I wouldn't be getting like my fat frozen. And I was like, I should probably calm down because then she's gonna drop me.
Oh, yeah.
Like this is no longer funny. But you were talking about how you want something to kind of get rid of your emotions. I
Hmm.
think the solution for that is just antidepressants.
Ooh.
Because they really just like numb you to the point where you don't feel happiness or sadness.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But there are like the side effects with it, like not being able to sleep for like a couple of weeks. But I feel like that's not too bad as long as you don't feel the other feelings.
Hmm.
But yeah, the couple of you here, you guys might recognize me from TV. I was on this show called Tengo Talento, Mucho Talento,
Oh.
which translates to I don't know because I don't speak Spanish.
Right.
Yeah, like I started watching telenovelas to learn Spanish, but all I learned was how to become a gold digger. Yeah, I did this joke in Compton, and I called the woman they're gold diggers, and they got mad at me because they said if they were gold diggers, they wouldn't be living there. Yeah, that woman was my mom. She still lives there. My mom's actually really mad at me right now because she says that when she was my age, she had a husband and a house. But like, I'm not really worried about it because, she's getting older. So soon I'm going to become the homeowner.
Right.
I just don't tell her I said that. But yeah, when I was on the show, I wanted to show off my Spanish. So when the producer asked me if I was excited to be there, I said I was excited in what I thought was the Spanish version. And he was like, yeah, that's not it. What I said was the word excitado, which sounds like excited, but really I said I was horny to be there, just like Mike. He didn't like that one. Yeah, the producer, he told me that I was going to make it very far. And I did. I made it here with all three of you.
Right.
But yeah, kids on TikTok, they try to bully me by calling me a no sabo kid. But
No, so.
yeah, but the joke's on them because I don't know what that means. I am first generation. My parents are immigrants. My mom, she doesn't speak English, and my dad doesn't know how to read. Their solution to have me.
Right.
Yeah, like some people have stocks, Latinos have children. I was like, this is why we have so many kids. We need to diversify our investments. I see this isn't a smart crowd. I guess you guys were a bad investment.
Yes.
Yeah, like my parents, they had me doing things I shouldn't have been doing. Like at 9 years old, ordering a pay-per-view porn.
Oh
Oh,
my God.
Oh
The
shit.
Gen Zs are like, what's pay-per-view?
right.
Yeah, like I had to read the description until they picked one. I was just like, you guys have some bland taste. Like, you don't know what my cousin showed me. And I'm not going to say it here because, we're staying clean.
Uh-huh.
But I did recently turn 35.
Ooh.
Woo.
Actually, I messed up the joke. The joke was I recently turned 30. Well, I'm 35. But the guy I'm seeing, he's younger than me. He's 26.
Nice.
But because he's an immigrant, he's really 35. Yeah, I mean, they gotta grow up faster when they live next to Russia.
Mm.
Yeah, like when I first met him, I noticed that his eyes were always really dilated, which I thought was weird because he told me he was sober. So for those first few weeks, I just thought he was getting high behind my back, like I was. Yeah, like I posted a picture of him on Instagram, and somebody accused me of colorism.
What?
If you don't know what that is, it's because you're white. But it's when you're prejudiced against darker skin tones.
Mhm.
I was like, oh, I'm not dating him because he's white. I'm dating him because he's 6'3".
Mm.
Yeah, like we've been together for 6 months and we're moving in together next month.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's not the reaction my therapist had. I mean, he's not going to be on the lease, so he's going to be an undocumented immigrant, just like my parents when they came to this country. Yeah, I actually wrote this joke a year ago.
Ice, ice, baby. Yes.
Yeah, and since then,
Ice.
I've broken up. Yeah, like I thought he was the one, but apparently he was somebody else's the one.
Mm.
His mother.
Oh.
He
Mm-mm-mm.
was like, there can only be one gold digger in this family. She does still follow me on Instagram. I lost a boyfriend, but I gained a fan. I did find his Bumble dating profile,
Ooh.
and all the pictures that he posted were all pictures that I took of him.
Oh.
and not the good ones.
Mm.
And I just thought that was funny because on our first date, he catfished me. Like the pictures that he posted, it didn't really show the rest of his hairline. So when I showed up to the date, I noticed that he was starting to bald, but I just thought, you know what? He's 6'3". Like I'm never gonna have to look up there. Yeah, like when he would go down on me, I would just put my hand up, cover the spot. But then after the breakup, I did do something crazy. I hooked up with my Gen Z neighbor.
No.
Ooh.
I know, desperate times. Like he told me that he didn't want to date me because I lived next door. But I
What?
was, yeah, I was like, that's how you know I'm not gonna cheat.
Right.
Like we have thin walls. But then I realized that the real reason that he didn't want to date me was because he could hear my Zoom therapy sessions. Yeah, like I told my therapist about it, and he was like, yeah, you should stop doing that. And so I had therapy the other day, and I told him, I did that thing that you told me not to do. He was like, did you do edibles? I was like, no, but like, when did we decide that journey was over for me? I was like, I did the neighbor. And he was like, it's okay. Everyone makes mistakes. So now I'm moving
Mm.
Mhm.
down the hall. Yeah, it's Pride Month. And my little sister, she recently came out. And she's kind of upset that we're not more excited about it. But I think we would be more excited if instead she came out with having a job.
Right.
I say this as somebody that's unemployed. Yeah, I've been unemployed for the last 5 months. Apparently, if you go to HR, they let you go.
Oh.
Yeah, so now I'm trying to figure out what it is that I want to do in life. uh, and like the first month into being unemployed, I got the flu, and
Oh.
I was like, well, what is there to do? So I downloaded Bumble again, and then I was just like swiping away while I have a fever,
Oh.
and I matched with this guy, and he's trying to be funny. I had something on my bio about how I want to go to karaoke, and he was like, I don't know how to do karaoke, or I'm not a good singer. And I just said, well, what are you good at? And apparently that was all it took. You just gotta neg them a little bit. Yeah, so then we had a 3-hour FaceTime while I'm sick with the flu, and then the next day he came over, he brought me medicine.
Mm.
And then a week later, I made a TikTok saying if he were to ask me to be his girlfriend, I'm gonna say yes. And he saw it, and then he asked me. But one thing that did catch my eye during that FaceTime, I was telling him how I'm unemployed and I don't really want to look for a job right away. And he was like, well, if my book does well, I'll pay your rent. And I was like, sold. I
Yeah.
was like, do you want to come over? And he was like, don't you have the flu? But now we've been together for 4 months.
Ooh.
Woo.
I was like, how is the book coming along? He does have a small child. He has like a 9-year-old half of the time. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna win over this child. Cause like if plan A doesn't work, then plan B is me moving into their apartment. And I need the child to be on board. So I started making muffins every week. And
Mm.
they were like these healthy protein muffins. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna make the muffins every week, and then on week 4, I'm gonna stop making the muffins, and he's gonna ask for them, and we're gonna say, "Oh, I guess we should invite Karina over so she can make them with us." But then week 4 came and I couldn't do that. I eventually met the boy and it was fine. And now I'm making him muffins and brownies, and I made cheesecake the other day. And I was like, oh, I guess the way to a man and a boy's heart is through food. Let's see. Back when I was dating, I went on this date with this guy who told me that he was a doctor. And I was like, oh, this should be good. But then he told me he was into BDSM. If you don't
he
know what
was
that is,
he was into what? Because we can somehow it got cut off a little bit.
oh, BDSM.
Okay.
But yeah, if you don't know what that is, just imagine choking, pain, being told what to do. It's like having immigrant parents. Like, does it look like I'm into that? Well, yes, I am. He called me master
Ooh.
because I have a master's degree. Yeah, I have a master's degree in environmental engineering.
Ooh.
You guys are like, why is she here?
Right.
Like, I can read code, but I can't read red flags.
Right.
Yeah, like I should have seen the red flags when one of my ex-boyfriends brought an 8 ball to my apartment.
Mm.
Mm.
Like I had told them, I'm adventurous. I like to try new things. I didn't know that was code for, bring the white stuff. But I tried it. And I just thought, if you're going to bring this to my apartment, at least bring some good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now I know how much you paid for this. He said it was free. And I was like, yeah, I can tell. And then I went on a date in LA, and this guy told me that he was a healer.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was like, this is some LA,
Yeah.
Right.
But I let him heal me. I mean, it can't be worse than my neighbor.
Right.
And I don't know if you can relate, but my mom, she does this thing where she grabs an egg, rubs it all around your body, cracks it in a cup of water, and tells you your future.
Ooh.
Yeah, she told me that I was going to meet a thin man that was going to destroy me.
Oh.
Yeah, the next week I got in a car accident. And I was just like, why couldn't you be more specific?
Yeah.
Like, now State Farm doesn't want to pay my claim.
No.
Mm.
Yeah, they said I already knew what was going to happen.
Ah.
Ah.
So I started commenting on all their social media. Hashtag not a good neighbor.
Yeah.
Like my neighbor.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It is my mom's birthday today,
Oh.
and I'm here.
Love you, Mom.
Yeah, like I called her to wish her a happy birthday, and she told me that she was feeling depressed because she was turning 60.
Mm.
My mom was born in 1966. That woman can't do math. She's 59 years old. For those who can't count either, was like, what? I'm not 60, but I bought all these birthday decorations. That happy 60th birthday. I was like, Mom, you can just save them for next year. And you can be depressed then.
Mhm.
She actually likes the joke. I translated it for her. In Spanish, I changed it to Esa pendeja no sabe contar, which is apparently worse. Yeah. My grandma, she had 17 kids,
Wow.
according to my mom. Like, I don't know if she's a very reliable source, since we all know that woman can't do math.
Right.
Yeah, my dad, he's kind of more calm than she is. He grew up as a Jehovah Witness, which makes sense why he ended up following alcoholism. Yeah, he came to this country when he was 18, and I guess that was the same year he tried alcohol.
Uh-oh.
I was like, oh, if I would have known this information when I was 18, maybe I would have done things differently. Because I had the same experience. I went to college at 18, and then I just, oh, this is the first time I'm trying alcohol. And then, luckily things ended up like I'm still alive, but it could have gone much worse. I guess I'll leave you guys with this last one. Have you guys ever been intimate with someone that kept their glasses on?
No.
Yeah, he was like, if I'm not wearing them, I can't see you.
Oh no.
Oh.
And
Oh.
I was just like, why do you think I took mine off?
Oh. Right.
Thank you
All
guys.
right, give it up for Karina. Yes. Thank you,
Yeah.
Karina. Thank you so much. All right. And now our headliner, which is the last one. Every time I go last and they're like our headliner, I'm like, just doing the same time, right?
Yeah.
As the other ones, whatever. So Paula Newman is an internationally performing comedian. Hello, headlined in Bangkok's comedy joint and around Thailand. In addition to being on stages in the United Kingdom, New Zealand, and Australia. Wow. In the States Comedy Store, the Hollywood and Denver Improvs, the Laugh Factory, the Ice House, and more. Please welcome to the virtual stage Paula Jane Newman.
Yeah. I think I'm
Wow.
gonna. I'm having so much fun with the emojis. I'm
Yeah, right?
myself throughout this whole particular show. Now I figured out which one does what. First of all, let's give it up for the audience.
Woo!
I know which emoji that is, Mike. I feel like I can write a whole new set just based on what I've heard from the two of you tonight. So be prepared. But let's call let's address the elephant in the room, and that would be me. I have gained 23 pounds since this time last year.
Ooh.
This thank you, maybe. Like it's people I had my friend, so this time last year I was in Bangkok. I was in Thailand touring, and I sent that note to my friend. She was like, oh really, 23 pounds since this time last year? I was like, this is how you know you're getting old, because you naturally live in stretchy pants, so you have no idea. Like, no, maybe I have a few more curves in different places.
Mhm.
I've been through the gamut, so I'm back to logging my food, and just so I know, oh, really, Nutella does have that many calories. Yeah, Nutella, it's full of chocolate and crack. That is the key ingredient to Nutella. Crack cocaine, I am sure, is secretly in there. But the elephant in the room is that, yes, I too am an immigrant.
Woo!
Yes, that's right. And things are hard right now for us. When I go to the bar now and I ask for Diet Coke, I have to make sure I say, no ice. But you don't get any sympathy being an immigrant with this color.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like people like to appropriate my accent to me. And were I any other shade, we'd been having a appropriation conversation. But as a colonizer, I have to say nothing.
Right.
Yeah, so I am originally from England. We're going to get that clear. I mean, I always felt, yeah, people love England, but don't love our teeth. That's how you know that I've lived in the States long enough.
Yeah.
I always felt like I didn't quite belong in England, which is weird because I look like I walked right out of an English period film. People often would say I look like Helena Bonham Carter.
Yes.
Yeah. Helena Bonham Carter has won 38 combinations of Emmys and BAFTAs. And I've won one online comedy contest by Chuckle Rum, which means I'm more of a Helena Bonham Cant. I came to this country because I got accepted into an American university, but because I couldn't get into an English one. I don't know if that means you're dumb, or if English people are just snobby. Probably because I did fail my written English high school exam 3 times.
Ooh.
Yeah, right. It's weird because I was always really good at oral. So it turns out I'm actually dyslexic. Do we have any other fellow Die Celtics? If so, please raise your right hand.
Ooh.
Maybe not. Okay. And so it has explained why I obsessively use emojis. Right. I just thought it was like a Gen X thing, but it's really how I coped. Because nowadays, if you don't acknowledge someone in the text thread, you're going to get kicked out for being unsupportive. So I just scroll through and I randomly will put in an emoji so you know I'm there, like the odd winky face here. Cheesy grin. At one point, I got really excited and I put in 3 at one time. It was like thumbs up, Union Jack, eggplant. Apparently, that's not appropriate when confirming a medical appointment. But I have found the emoji that will solve all of my problems, and it is the zany googly eyes. And if you're not sure what that is, it involves a head tilt, 2 squiffy eyeballs, and the tongue sticking out. It's like,
Yeah.
So it's like, Paula, how are you feeling after last night out on the town? Zany googly eyes. Paula, what is going on with the American political situation? Zany googly eyes. Paula, would you like to meet tomorrow for coffee, 1-on-1? Eggplant, zany googly eyes. Dating was tricky in America, and I will tell you, I really came to this university because at the time they took 3 women to every 1 man. And I was like, that's great dating odds.
Yeah.
But what I didn't realize was, apart from my tiny, small musical theater program, the rest of the university were computer science nerds. Which means when I think we're going out to play role playing, they're just playing Dungeons and Dragons. So I thought, well, why don't I just date my own? And I started dating some musical theater people. And it turned out okay, except that whenever we would get into an argument, someone's bursting into song. I did manage to graduate from that university, and I really had a hard time with dating. So no one at my own age did it work out, because you know what? I don't need you to tell me how I'm smothering your career, even though all you're doing is working at a coffee shop and writing plays. I really need to focus on my career. How am I stopping you? Keep going to the coffee shop. It's not a problem with me. Please leave the house. I'm quite happy without you. So I thought I'd just date blokes way older. And
Yeah.
Los Angeles, like, no one cares, because they're all too busy dating their own nieces. So I met this chap, and he walked in, I remember, and he was wearing this leather jacket. It was like purple and gold. And I thought, oh, this must be an American thing, because in England, we don't have purple or gold cows. Like, Grace is the only person ever to laugh at that joke, apart from me. So I appreciate the love on that. So I had cracked the dating code at this point, which was, if you're listening here to the show, the answers to understanding how to date well in the United States of America as an immigrant is learn American sport. So I asked him, and he told me that he liked basketball. And I'd done my research, and so when he said, "Is there a team that I follow?" I looked him in the eye and went, "Yes, Harlem Globetrotters." He then said, "Well, I think you find the team I support, the Lakers. You know, there's no dispute of which team is better." And I was like, "Darn tootin', the Globetrotters have never lost a game yet." So we ended up getting serious, and I moved in, and I became a stepmom.
Ooh.
Yeah, now as if our parenting isn't hard enough, I moved into a family of a different race and culture. In the household, they refer to themselves as Black, and they refer to me as the colonizer. And this kid was super smart. And I thought, well, I'm sure we can get them into some of these fancy Los Angeles schools. Turns out they cost $40,000 a year for elementary school.
Wow.
40,000. That's the car.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 40,000. I'm like, how expensive are these crayons? What are they made out of? Saraswati crystals? I'm like, why is the school say so expensive? Are there puppies in every classroom? Does the AstroTurf come from NASA?
Right.
Is the lunch trolley made out of truffles? And that when you serve morning breakfast, you put a few shavings on a plate and serve it with a butler and a Fabergé egg? I do feel that, you know, only elementary school kids should get the puppy dogs that are purebred golden retrievers. I feel middle schoolers 100% should get the pit bulls, because that's the only dog that can match the attitude of a middle schooler. In fact, maybe they should actually throw in a few feral cats. Because you imagine if there were feral cats around in the bathroom, no one would be smoking or weed or vaping. They'd be staying in the classroom and studying.
Yeah.
And I got this kid through school, and they ended up getting into a very fancy high school. And this high school, you had to get recommendations. You had to be able to pass all these exams. And then there was a family interview. And most of the time, you know, these schools have celebrities. Their kids go there. You know, Johnny Depp's kid was in the year. I mean, I can't compete with that. But I do feel I was the one that put them over the edge. because I walked in, I closed my umbrella, I looked him dead in the eye and said, "How do you do?" And I think they thought, oh, we got to have this kid. This family's rich. They can afford the real Mary Poppins. So the kid ended up getting flown out by all these really fancy universities on their senior year. They got flown out free of charge by Princeton, flown out to Amherst College and Carleton College. And it was that college that I got this text. And the text said, "Paula, today is National Coming Out Day. I want you to know that I'm bi. Please don't tell my dad. You're the only person I'm telling in the whole family." And I read that and I thought, wow, this is my soul baby. Like, blood is not thicker than water. And I then started to ache and thought, wow, why didn't you tell me sooner? Because then we could have filled in more boxes and got more scholarships for college. It was tricky, I'll be honest with you. It was over 2 years that I held this secret. Now, when I say that, most people go, "Oh, not because holding a secret for 2 years is long," but they think that I can't hold a secret for 2 years. I was trying to give hints. Like, the kid would come over, the kid would be around and go into their dad's closet, and they were always taking their flannel shirts. I'd be like, "Have you noticed, sweetheart, you need to keep buying more flannel shirts?" Nothing. We sat and we watched the movie Prom about the kid who can't have their prom because they come out. And he bawled their eyes out. And I looked at the kid like, now is the time to tell him. Because it was getting really uncomfortable. He kept wanting to know about their dating preferences. They're like, "Oh, how is it going with Alex? I haven't met this Alex. Is he nice?" I go, "Well, Alex is nice." Alex was a girl. And then the dad got really sick. He was in hospital for a long time with a horrible back, couldn't move. And I said, "Listen, kid, you have to share before he kicks it. Please don't take this to your grave." And the kid was like, "I don't know. This is not appropriate, Paula." And I was like, "Appropriate? This is the best time. The guy can't move off the bed and he's on morphine. Tell him it's fine." What then happened was there was an official time the kids sat down with their dad and told them. And the kid sent me a message saying, "Okay, I told dad, everything went well. Great." So 2 days later, we're having dinner and I said, "So, did you have any clue about Ashley coming out?" And he went, "What?" I was like, "Your conversation with Ashley the other day." "What conversation?" "The guy had so much morphine, and as a boomer, he's lost brain cells. So I came out for the kid accidentally." It all got sorted out, and it works out. They're actually now also non-binary and referred to as a they. It gets very tricky when I say they, and they know the person's name is Ashley, so they assume that it's an Ashley, although it's a female presenting body, and it gets quite exhausting. Unless I'm talking to a Gen Z.
Yeah.
The kid now, I'm going to go this section where, Grace, you're going to love it because I'm going to talk about adventures with boomers.
I'm not a boomer, but yeah.
Dating boomers. So this chap is he's going to turn 70 this year, right? There's an age gap. I was hoping if you date someone older, you'll always look young. Not unless you date someone and you're Caucasian and they're of a brown color, because you will always look older than them.
Yeah.
We took the kid to a Microsoft convention thing before university, and this is before AI got as popular. You looked into the screen and it computed your age, right?
Mm.
The kid went in and looked at it, went 12. The kid was 18, right? Went to him, looked at him, 45. The man was in his 60s. I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. I go in front of it, 64.
Uh-oh.
It was 20 years older than I was.
Ooh.
This is not a great look for vanity. I don't care how much I don't care how much Botox. You will never age well if you're with a black man.
Yes.
And this is the life of the boomer. I'm going to give you a slice of just an average Saturday. An average Saturday. Karina likes to go on social media and roast her agent, which I feel the more you roast your agent and go viral, they will be forced to have to keep you because you will have so many followers, they're going to be able to book you gigs. So completely roast that agent. So I got some new pants. Someone gave me some pants and they said, I want a picture. So I have taught the boomer how you take a photo of a lady of a certain age, and that means not 30. You just go top and tilt.
Yes.
Because you don't need any creperie. The creperie is what I buy when I want something to eat. Not his idea, this is what happened. So I come back with all of these photos. He's like, this is a great background. I'm like, wow, the boomer's really getting into social media, spent some time on TikTok. I look back, every single photo has my head cut off.
Oh.
It's a day in a life with a boomer.
Right.
That afternoon, I'm doing my meditation group talk, and I teach meditation. Half I say, do you want to be able to dial in? And he was like, yes. Okay. Now I asked him to dial in today and he hasn't, probably because he's having a hard time logging into his computer. He's thinking the computer has a face recognition, doesn't understand it's still thumb. And the last time he did it on his own, he hurt his back.
Ooh.
So he's in this meditation group, and halfway through my lecture, I'm getting to a serious aspect about stress and meditation. Suddenly, the screen changes on Zoom. It says, welcome to Willie's whiteboard. And he starts doodling. He is doodling. I don't know how he had access to the share in the Zoom. Do you understand it? I was like, bro, you could at least pretend to have some enthusiasm for your spouse. You're online doodling. And I knew I was being recorded because I wanted to yell. And I was like, Willie, what are you doing now? Like, I'm yelling at him from one room to another room while we're on Zoom. Willie, what are you doing now? The boomers' idea of Zoom, to see if you can see them, it's not like, hey, can you see me? You got me? The boomers' idea is, hey, can you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And then occasionally they'll be talking like this, and you'll suddenly discover that on you, and they don't realize they're on yelling into the Zoom when you can't hear them because you're on.
Yeah.
So I decided to have a little bit of fun with this especially during the pandemic. I was like, listen, everyone, I've got a new ebook coming out. I realize things are stressful, but we need the sales up. So I'm going to give you my credit card number now, and you can just buy the card. You can buy the ebook, right? Everyone, okay, ready? The number is 442. They start losing their mind. They're like in and out of going on and off of mute. They're like, Paula, hear what? I don't know. Paula. I don't know. And I go, and then I thank you everyone for today's session. Namaste.
Yeah.
I live in a household where phone calls are on speaker. I don't need a morning alarm because boomers only sleep for 5 hours. I hear them 2 rooms down on speakerphone. The speakerphone, I usually hear the other person talking, and he's saying, "Hey, can you speak louder? Because I can't hear you." Right. And I'm like, "Yeah, I can hear you. The whole neighborhood can hear you. Listen, Paula, you need not to be mean to me because I have to speak louder because I'm going deaf." I'm sorry, honey. You speaking louder is having me go deaf. There are some tips and great advantages that I have learned being around a boomer. Number 1 is putting your light on when it's dark to read a menu. I don't want to have glasses early. I'm cheap. I don't want to have to pay for them if I don't need them. So you just put your light on the phone. I'm like, this is actually a great hack. Brilliant. Mother's Day, the Gen Z takes a photo and puts the caption, "Old people at dinner." I was like, sweetie, you think that's funny now? You were 40 without glasses because of all your bloody video games. Be nice, because you're going to be blind and I'm going to be the one walking you around to the supermarket.
Exactly.
I also like some of the gadgets he's got. I've been hurt, so we have something called a grabber. A grabber is a device you pick and you pick things up. Those of you who might have been incarcerated or have community service will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I will never have back problems. I will never pull over and go, oh, I pulled my back, picking up my socks off the floor. No, because I have a grabber. I just pick it up like a gun, pew, and then put it in the laundry basket. Yeah. I'm not going to pull my back out, pulling the curtains open in the morning. No, I just stand there like I'm conducting a bloody orchestra. 1, 2.
Okay.
Yes.
Wrap it up. Can you wrap it up? Sorry to interrupt.
You know what happened?
No, you've been like, I think 30 minutes or something you've been doing.
What's happening is that's what my brain thought. And then I thought your face was going to come on at 20 and I forgot, because you know why? I'm practicing being a boomer.
And on that note, no, it's confusing. I get it, girl. I get it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Paula, Karina, Mike, for being here and being so supportive always. I love you guys. Thank you for doing the show, and for everybody out there on YouTube who's tuned in, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you in a month. We have the next show on Friday, July 18th at 7 p.m. Pacific time. That'll be 10 p.m. Eastern time. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.